Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm pretty excited to do this video. I wanted to give like a little glimpse, but as you know, the Demon Slayer movie was released finally here in California. I went to see it yesterday and my god, I was impressed. I love the movie so much. I mean, before going to go see the movie, I decided to read the manga, that part of the Infinity Train. I mean, it's one of my favorite arcs. I love the little bit we get to see in RENGOKU and the panels and everything. So the movie, it starts with the leader of the Demon Slayers walking through what it appears a bunch of graves. I'm really glad they added that little detail, because in the manga, the leader of the Demon Slayers, God, it sucks I can't remember his name. Every day he would try to walk to those graves, and he even called out the names of every single Demon Slayer because he memorized them all. I love that little detail that they added in the movie. Honestly, it did kind of shock me. I was like, wow, I didn't expect them to show that scene. I mean, even the opening of the movie, the animation, the quality of it's beautiful. I was impressed. I was not expecting to see such good quality, such good graphics. Then we get to see the Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro jumping into the train and meeting RENGOKU, which I thought it was pretty hilarious, even in the manga, because every little bite he's taking off his food, he's saying delicious. And I'm glad they didn't even change that in the manga. I loved it. I love as they get to meet him, get to know him. We even get to learn a little bit of the different types of breeding. And I love the little animations they did to explain it. I thought it was really nice. Man, I know I keep saying the same thing, but I was shocked. I'm still shocked. Like, it explains the water breathing, fire breathing, so and explaining like the love breathing. It's just a branch of the fire breathing. And the mist, I think it's a branch from the I think air breathing. So it's nice. Even those animations, I recall them on my mind. It was beautifully, God, I can't even come up with the right words. It was just so beautifully explained. Even the fights with the demons that they show in the train, it was impressive. The detail, especially seeing RENGOKU's fire breathing. Yeah, literally, my jaw was like that the entire time in the theater. I was like, I mean, in the beginning, it's a little slow. I did expect it to be a little slow because they have to explain a little bit of things once we get to the big battles. I mean, we get to see that creepy train guy asking for their tickets to punch them. I love those little details. It's like, ugh, it's creepy. You can kind of know that something's wrong with that guy. I even noticed it in the manga. I mean, eventually we get to see their dreams, and I love how they did their dreams. It was so well animated. I mean, Tanjiro's dream where he meets his family. I even had to hold back tears because it was just so emotional, especially like what happened to them in the first episode of the first season of Demon Slayer. I mean, Zenitsu's dream was just hilarious. It reminded me of those little at the end of the manga chapters, the creator of Demon Slayer would draw like little drawings of his characters doing pretty funny things, like Zenitsu's leap of joy. I love that they added that in the movie. I was laughing. Inosuke's dream was incredibly funny. I love that. How they drew the train as a monster, the designs for Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Nezuko, and calling them the wrong names. Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing. Even when they drew the subconsciousness of all of them, I love what they did, honestly. And it looked even better than it did in the manga. I was just breathtaking seeing Tanjiro's his subconsciousness is just so big, so calm. It's like this big ocean, clear, a beautiful clear sky. It just made me feel so calm. At the same time, it was almost sad because I never seen something so pure in my life. I mean, Rengoku's subconsciousness, it just feels hot. There's fire, which explains his fiery personality, the fire that burns within them. Zenitsu's, of course, is just pitch black. And it was just funny seeing him attacking the guy that's trying to destroy his spiritual core. Zenitsu's, I mean, on Inosuke's, I couldn't stop laughing. Him like attacking the girl in there and chasing her. It was pretty hilarious, honestly. Eventually, you know, Nestle gets out of her box, and she sees that Tanjiro is trying to wake up, and she sees Rengoku like literally strangling the girl. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about that. That they showed this so well. When that girl tries to get into Rengoku's unconsciousness and tries to destroy the spiritual core, Rengoku senses the fear and literally slams his hand into the girl's neck. I love that in the consciousness you could see like how hard he's like squeezing her neck. I mean, of course, in the manga we understand that some demon slayers could kind of see this coming, but then we see that it's a stalemate. Rengoku could sense that if his spiritual core is destroyed, he's basically done for. But at the same time, he cannot kill the person. So it's a stalemate. Honestly, it was nice that the movie tried to explain some of the things that were happening. I mean, probably some people would figure it's a little slow, but they kind of had to explain what's happening, or else you're not gonna understand. Like, what did he do? How was that possible? Like with the tickets, I think the author kind of explains it later. I think in like a little side story that Enmu's magic is in the tickets. His blood is in the little tickets. So as soon as the train guy asked for their tickets and punched a hole in it, it activated the spell. So we go back to Nesco. It's pretty funny how she tries to wake up Tanjiro, how she rams her head into his, and we see how she's bleeding and crying because, you know, Tanjiro's head, it's very hard. So I even love that she's all crying, and she uses his blood demon art on him to kind of wake him up. And this is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the movie, when Tanjiro realizes it's a dream and he knows he has to leave his family. It's just heartbreaking, especially seeing his little brother telling him don't leave, and Tanjiro just, he has to run, don't even look back. It was heartbreaking. It felt even sadder in the movie. In the manga it was like, that's painful, but in the movie, God, it really crushed my heart, especially recalling the memories and saying that he shouldn't even be wielding a sword, he should be with his family selling charcoal. It's really sad. Then we get to see that they finally wake up. The guy that was on Tanjiro's dream, he decides not to fight anymore. They omitted that reason from the movie, but I mean, I guess people could kind of understand the message. I mean, you know, the guy was about to destroy the spiritual core, even the little little elves that live in Tanjiro's soul, guiding him to it. But because it was just so beautiful and so peaceful, that guy decided not to do it. But the moment Tanjiro wakes up, he grabs into the little elf, and now that little elf lives inside that guy's soul. So yeah, I wish they could probably added that in the movie, but I mean, people would understand why he decided not to destroy the spiritual core. But honestly, it was a nice detail right there in the manga. Oh yeah, and when Tanjiro wakes up, you know, he has to cut his neck. My god, I felt the pain in that. Yeah, just seeing the blood splatter, I was like, ugh, it hurt. Even when he wakes up screaming, I was like, oh my god. You know, the next part, Tanjiro faces Lower Moon 1, Enmu, and we get to see that Enmu's ability in action. He's just trying to put him to sleep, but every time Tanjiro just cuts his neck, and we just see the panels, the panels of each time he cuts his neck. I just love the dark colors they give it to them. Oh, and for the nightmares, I was shocked, honestly. I didn't expect them to add details to the nightmares as well. Honestly, they horrify me, especially like the dark colors, the tone they gave it. I mean, his family members covered in blood and asking him, why didn't you save us? Why are you still alive and enjoying your life while we're dead? Honestly, props to the people that worked hard on the movie, because that was fantastically done. They did it way better than they did in the manga. Yeah, it was stunning. It shocked me. You could just feel Tanjiro's anger when he sees all those nightmares. God, even thinking about it still gives me the creeps. Because honestly, the nightmares really look like nightmares. It almost reminds me of a couple of times I had nightmares. They're like as vivid as that. And eventually we see that Tanjiro cuts on Emu's head, but of course that's not even the real body. Right there in the part of the movie, I didn't really like the way they kind of portrayed Emu right there where he fused with the train. I don't know, the animation for that, honestly in the manga it looked gross, and it looks pretty gross in the movie, but at the same time it just didn't seem to fit with the colors of the movie. Yeah, I didn't really like how it really looked. It looked gross, even grosser than I imagined, but I just didn't like how it got portrayed. I think I would have liked it a lot more if they would have portrayed it how they portrayed Musan's arm on the last episode of Demon Slayer. If they were kind of portrayed like that, I would have enjoyed it. But other than that, that's one of the things I didn't really like about the movie. Yeah, it just didn't look natural. It just seemed so out of place. That's one of the things I didn't really like about the fight with Enmu. It's really cool seeing the fight, especially when Zenitsu wakes up. We see all the lightning when he cuts all the fleshy stuff to protect the people. We see Nezuko in action. We see her scratching the stuff. Of course, next people will be saying, why didn't Nezuko just use her flames? But unfortunately, that's one thing probably should have explained. I'll explain it. If Nezuko bleeds too much, she just gets very sleepy. So it's just best for her to, if she needs to fight, it's best that she uses her hands. So that's why we see her just fighting with her hands. Honestly, seeing RENGOKU fighting in the train and saying, I'll protect the other 5 cards. Zenitsu and Nezuko will protect the other ones. You and Inosuke head to the front, cut the demon's head. I almost forgot. I even love how they show like Emu, who's already fused with the train, and we just see like almost like his body. It's just pretty creepy, especially when he feels the attacks. Yeah, especially RENGOKU's attack to kind of slow down the process of him trying to eat the people in the train. Then we get to see the fight with Enmu. Of course, Inosuke and Tanjiro, they do have a little bit of a hard time because Emu starts using his blood demon arm, starts creating a bunch of eyes where he causes Tanjiro to fall asleep over and over again. I even really love when the moment that Tanjiro is about to commit suicide because he's thinking that he's still in the dream, Inosuke stops him like before he could do that. He's like, dude, that's not a dream, this is reality. And we get to see that they finally synchronizes their attacks. Tanjiro uses the Kamikagura once again, and it's beautifully shown. I love that color. Even when he starts taking the breathing, we just see the fire. It's pretty awesome. Oh, but the highlight of the movie is Akasa versus Rengoku. Honestly, I love the fight. I was shocked. It was impressive. It surpassed the manga by a lot. It's honestly my favorite part of the movie. The way they show the fight, so choreographic. I don't know if that's the correct term. It was outstanding, especially God. I'm trying to remember. All right, let me go back to the beginning because my whole mind is so messing up. Finally, we see Akasa and Rengoku meeting. You could just feel the tension in there. I mean, the design, the colors they gave Akasa, incredibly detailed. I really love that, especially when we get to see Rengoku finally doing a little bit of damage on them. The speed that he heals, it shows that he heals very fast. The colors of his attacks when he uses his that compass, it's shown so beautifully. I love the color, the music. I forgot to talk about that. The music for the whole movie, amazing. I love the soundtrack of the movie. The songs, especially the soundtrack for Akasa and Rengoku's fight, I loved it. It just added so much suspense. Literally, in the theater I was, everyone couldn't even talk because it was just so tense. You could just feel this guy is extremely dangerous. As you know, uppermost are the strongest of Musan's demons. They're the ones that have the most of Musan's blood, and they haven't even changed spots for I believe a century. We get to see this awesome fight with Rengoku and Akasa. It's beautifully done, honestly. The colors, especially when Rengoku uses I think an attack called Tiger something. I'm sorry, I'm just going this out of my head. The design for the dragon, no, not the dragon, the tiger, there you go. It was just so amazing. And then Akasa powering up, and the blue color mixed with the red color, the explosion it gives, it was amazing. It was breathtaking. And of course we get to the most emotional part of the movie, where Rengoku, he uses his full power. We get to see those vibrant bright orange colors. It just looks so beautiful. And the close-up match where Rengoku uses his literally like his final attack. I love that little close-up. And you get to see the struggle. Once the smoke clears, we get to see that Rengoku lost. Akasa literally just punching his entire arm onto his abdomen. It was heartbreaking. And I love that they added the part where he remembers his mother and asking him, why do you think you're strong? Tells him, of course, Rengoku doesn't understand how to answer the question. His mother explains that those who are born strong should use their gift to help others who are weak. And I love to see that his mom telling him that she's very proud of him, even though she doesn't have much time left. And we see that Rengoku just snaps, and he still tries to take down Akasa. And it was very emotional seeing that he was very proud of his mom, especially that it was an honor for her to birth him. Honestly, it was emotional. Just seeing the struggle. Oh yeah, the scream of the demons, especially of Akasa, trying to like get him off of him. I literally almost covered my ears because it was loud. And yeah, I did it almost in the exact same moment that Tanjiro did it. Just literally covering your ears because it was just so piercing. Unfortunately, Akasa is able to get away, even though Tanjiro and Inosuke we're just gonna do their best to just we gotta cut this guy head off. So Rengoku's sacrifice is in for vain, but Akasa is able to escape. I love that they added that part in the manga, which I love so much, where Tanjiro tells him that he's a coward, and you just see the Akasa, it gets to him. He's furious. Tells him that I'm not afraid of you. I'm running away from the sun. Then we get to see another emotional part of the movie. Even though Tanjiro is breaking in tears, his final talk with Rengoku, it's a very emotional one. God, even remembering makes me want to cry again. Like telling him to not to feel bad about his death, that as a Hashira it's his duty to protect the younger ones. He says he entrusts everything to him. That, God, what he tells him is just so powerful. That there's no time to grieve. Eventually you're gonna have to move forward. He said he believes in them, which it's pretty big. Even in the beginning, even in the movie too, he said he still hadn't really accepted his sister, but after seeing her like protecting the humans, he said that he accepts his sister as a demon slayer. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Anyone that literally shreds blood to protect innocent people, protecting humans from demons, is a legit demon slayer. And the last part of Rengoku seeing his mother before he dies, and him smiling, God, it pulled my heartstrings. It was well animated, honestly. I mean, I still have the memory still deep in my mind, and it still gets me, especially seeing that last panel of Rengoku smiling as he dies. It hurt. We get to see Tanjiro weeping and saying that he just wished if he would have been stronger, probably he would be able to save Rengoku. Even asking himself, can I be anything like Rengoku was? Inosuke tells him, stop thinking of the what ifs. He said he believes in us. Crying over a person, mourning for it, it's not good. Because that person, God, it's so impactful. Because it reminds me of something that happened recently in my life. I really don't want to get into the subject too much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree that part in the movie, it reminds you of some big stuff in your life, probably something you already went through. And it's pretty hilarious still seeing the tears in Inosuke when he gives his awesome speech about stop thinking of the what ifs. He said he believes in us. The only thing we could do is live up to it. Saying that no matter how hard it gets, you shouldn't cry, and you see the tears coming out of his mask. Even though I was like almost crying, it kind of did help me kind of like liven up a little bit, and we get to see him ramming his head on Zenitsu's. It was pretty hilarious. I even like the part that the crow that flies over it as he flies away. You see the tear in his little eye. I love that little detail. You know, the crows are close to the Hashiras. Well, any demon slayer they get assigned to. It was pretty heartbreaking, especially when the Hashiras learned of Rengoku's death. I mean, for the love Hashira, I think it's Mitsuru. You know, Rengoku was his master. Honestly, I really love that. And the movie just ends this way. I wonder. Honestly, I love the movie. If I were to rate it, dude, this movie is a 10 out of 10. The job that they did, the voice acting, the soundtrack, everything in the movie was beautifully done. You could see the effort they put in it. The end credit song. I made the mistake of leaving too early. Thankfully, I'm gonna go see the movie again. I'm definitely gonna say for the end credits. The song for the end credits by Lisa Humura. Definitely hear that song. The first time I heard that song, it made me cry. Even the version of the first take, it made me bawl tears, and you could see the emotion that Lisa put in that song. And hearing it in the movie theater after Rengoku's death makes the song even more powerful, more meaningful. I mean, even the song for me, it's pretty meaningful, and it's honestly it's one of my favorite ones. The beginning of it, Sayonara Arigato. God, it's a beautifully done. It's a beautiful song, and like I said, I really don't want to get into too much detail, but it's one of my favorite ones, and I'm pretty sure people that have went through stuff like this will understand the meaning behind the song. But overall, the movie was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I recommend you people to see it because, hey, it's a beautiful movie, and honestly, one of the best I've seen. I usually don't do this for movies where I want to watch it a second time. This is the first movie I'm doing it for. I'm watching it again because I just enjoy it so much. I want to see the fight against Rengoku and Akasa again. But definitely try to see the movie. I swear you're not gonna regret it. I mean, it was beautifully done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video for the Demon Slayer movie. Let me know what are your opinions about it, and I hope to see you then.